wrestling superstar Rhino and his co-host Gary come to you live each week with guests from the worlds of pro wrestling, comics, movies, sports, and more. So if your standards aren't too high, Terry and Gary's Low Expectations podcast is for you.
And even today, when I'm in there wrestling, I feel energized. I feel good. I feel like I've got a lot left in the tank.
Good things is going, baby.
Oh, man, they don't lie.
You have to grow a mohawk so that you can go by the name Kleba Lang.
The ratings are through the roof right now.
Right.
Catch Terry and Gary every Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern live on Podcast Detroit. Download Terry and Gary or stream on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, or the Terry and Gary TV YouTube channel. You know what to do next. Leave your expectations at the door and enjoy the show.
Oh, don't leave your expectations at the door this time. We have the one and only Captain Big Daddy himself, Rhino, joining us today. So treat to have you on the show with your name.
Yes.
And of course, we have the amazing Bachelor Benjamin Boone. How you doing, Ben?
I am great, and don't mind me, Gary. I'm just getting lost in the eyes of Captain Big Daddy right here. I like a man in uniform. What can I say?
Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
Hey, take it away, Terry. I'm going to share this.
Well, obviously, Bachelor, it's great to have you back on the show. You're highly requested by Gary. Gary's looking for a rose. Gary don't even request me to be on the show. So
How rude.
Yeah, right. So, just to start off, how does first off, are you looking forward to October 14th, returning here to Monroe to wrestle in front of the Monroe audience? I know you have, you're on shaky terms with them,
Well, because let me explain it to you. The one time that I decided to give my rose away, I was ill prepared, and King Logan made short work of me. But I, at the very last show, made short work of the Kenny Urban. So October 14th, I have a new game plan going forward. I am focused. I am ready to rock, roll, all the above, and whip some ass on October 14th. I'm sorry for cussing, but I am ready to whip some ass.
That's okay. You can cuss here. So yeah, I mean, whoever Logan gets in the ring with, he makes short work with. He's stopping him. Tommy Dreamer and I are going to wrestle him and Shane Douglas on the 14th of October in a double main event. And what's the other main event, Gary?
Is the Insane 6-man gauntlet match.
Boom. So when so for those that didn't see it, I'm kind of in your corner on this one, Bachelor. Is you went out there and you decided to give your rose, and then here comes Logan. You weren't well prepared for Logan. Who can be prepared for him? And then after the 1, 2, 3, the lady throws it back. Now you're trying to turn over a new leaf, and then it gets thrown in your face, not literally, but thrown back in the ring. Which, watching it, I kind of laughed. But I'm gonna have to side with you. You're gonna have to turn back to old ways. So are we gonna see the rose given out if there's a lucky lady? Which you are always in search of a lucky lady, right?
I'm always in search of a lucky lady, but the one time I did and it got thrown back at me, I think Monroe's going to have to wait a long time.
I know.
Again. I think that's just how it is. Sorry, Monroe. You did it, not me.
They kind of did. So sorry, Monroe. I hate to side with the Bachelor on this one. But Gary's wife, Dawn, she's been talking about a rose, wanting a rose, and all. Gary's not giving her roses.
Buy no rose. Things are expensive.
So if the rose goes missing in the locker room, you know who stole it? Gary, to give to his wife. To get him out of the doghouse. Yeah, right.
Take a lot more than that.
What's that?
Take a lot more than a rose.
Right. You can buy a dozen roses for the next year straight. Still be in that doghouse. But you deserve to be. So
what do we got coming up here, Ben? You got anything special planned for September say I don't know, 18th.
So September 18th. Oh, right on the tip of my tongue. You mean the Monroe Pop Fest that's happening in Monroe, Michigan? Yeah. Bachelor's going to be there, and very much looking forward to it. I'm very excited. My first time being at the Pop Fest. So Gary, you let me know what's going to be in store for the faithful attendees.
Well, hopefully a rose.
Maybe more, maybe more.
Don't be just giving it to Doug Jones either. You actually got to give it to somebody out in the crowd.
If I have to, we'll see. We'll see.
We're looking forward to having you. We're glad you're going to come. Are you going to be in costume? Or are you going to be?
Hey, the Bachelor does not wear a costume.
Yeah,
the Bachelor doesn't live a gimmick.
Well, that's what he might be low key. I don't know if he wants.
Not just a gimmick; it's a lifestyle. Gary, come on, get it straight.
Gary, come on, man.
Actually, who else is going to be there from professional wrestlers going to be at the Pop Fest?
Well, IWR wrestlers, we have Nate Bach, the wild card.
Yep.
And Chinstrap Jesus, Kyle Barrett. I think they're both going to be there Friday night.
On the 17th.
17th,
right?
5 to 9, they'll be there 17th. I don't know what they're going to be doing. I kind of worry myself of what they're going to be doing. So,
well, I know a lot of they'll be signing autographs and they have T-shirts and stuff like that. And Nate Bach, he has these chains. Kids love these chains, and it's pretty inexpensive to purchase. So, I've watched them, sign autographs and stuff at autograph sessions, and I've sat next to Boone quite a bit. And Boone, you have some really good shirts, awesome shirts, and well made too. Yeah. And it's just so that'll be pretty exciting for the fans.
And then Saturday, along with the Bachelor Ben Boone, we're going to have the Mysterious Movado is going to be there.
Yep.
So that'd be amazing to see him again. And of course, we're going to have we just announced the amazing Nate Matson will be there too Saturday night. Yes. So actually, he'll be there Saturday most of the day. I think he's got a wrestling tournament Saturday night or something. So
yeah.
He'll be out soon.
Yeah, Nate Matson, he's making his return to IWR. He was off for a little bit, just taking a little time off during the COVID and everything. And now that he got he's been vaccinated and all that stuff. Yeah, so he's been ready to go for a while. He's been wrestling back, and it was time. He was coming back in. So I think he threw his hat into that 6-man gauntlet. So
yeah, a lot of people asking who's in the 6-man gauntlet. Who's in the 6-man gauntlet? So. Well, there you go. Nate we'll be in the 6-man gauntlet.
What's that?
So amazing Nate Matson's going to be in the 6-man gauntlet.
Yep. And I hear Trey's going to be in there. He threw his hat in there. A couple other people, So, but yeah, we'll definitely once we get everything organized on that, we'll definitely release who's going to be in there.
I'm looking forward to it. I mean, so just to recap on the Pop Fest, we're going to have Nate Matson, the Bachelor Ben Boone, Nate Bach, Chinstrap Kyle Barrett, and the Mysterious Movado. They'll be selling their autographs, pictures, T-shirts, whatever gimmicks they bring. They're going to say it'll be fun. All the kids and fans and adults alike come out and visit them and say hi. Maybe you'll get a rose. Maybe you'll get shunned. I don't know, but the Boom will be there. And we're looking forward to it. And back to the gauntlet match. I get a lot of people asking, what is the gauntlet match? For those who don't know, the 6-man gauntlet match.
Well, a gauntlet match is usually two competitors start out, and then once someone pins, or once you can win by pinfall, submission,
DQ,
pinfall, submission, or if the person's DQ'd, so, and then that person who wins stays in there, and then another person comes out. Yeah, There's no time limit or anything like that. It's not like a Royal Rumble. So sometimes, a guy will get caught off guard and get rolled up, Sometimes a guy will, pull someone's tights and, and get caught and get DQ'd, something like that. But for the most part, it's a straight up match. And then at the end, what makes it insane is the last two competitors, anything goes. So it's a no DQ. So if there's tables injected, if there's chairs, whatever, doors, garbage cans, whatever happens, so they have the free will to do whatever they want. So
we can tell the fans right now that Trey Miguel and Nate Matson are two of the people that's already confirmed they will be in the 6-man gauntlet match.
Yeah.
Thursday, October 14th at IWR's The Fall Brawl.
Yeah.
Start.
So, Bachelor Ben Boone has already signed on for a singles match. So unfortunately, aren't you more focused on giving that rose opposed to a gauntlet? Because let's face it, if it's a gauntlet, you got to go right to the ring, and we don't want to steal your mojo, right?
I mean, yeah, because I need some mojo for later in the night, So I appreciate the IWR's management in my request for me to do a singles match. Although if I was going to be in the gauntlet and be the final entrant, I would suggest to IWR management to have pillows stuffed with rose petals as the weapons. So,
right. I think we're going to have to talk to the IWR management and see if we could get a hardcore match out of the Bachelor Ben Boone. Just pillows. Yeah, that would be fun. I would definitely be interested in seeing that.
If it's a hardcore pillow fight, then you can count me in too, because I want to be part of the hardcore pillow fight.
Right.
That's the only match you're ever going to see me at.
Right.
But hey,
we'll talk. We'll talk. IWR management. We will talk about that. So intense contract negotiations. So
we'll definitely talk. Listen, we got some fans here chiming in. Brad Ratsky, nice to see Boone showed up on time. Ha ha ha.
Okay, Brad. Well, I'm always on time. He's the one that always runs late. So
right.
We're just happy to have Boone and, of course, Terry today. Next guy, we have Kevin Wright. He said, "Good afternoon, guys." Good afternoon, Kevin.
Good afternoon, Kevin.
Hello.
Rita Doobie, our good friend Rita Doobie, says, "Hi, guys."
Hi, Rita. Nice to see you.
Hello. And then this is Rita again. "Hey, Ben, from this trashy Monroe gal."
Is she talking about me? As a trashy Monroe gal?
No, she's a trashy.
Oh, no, she's not. She's wonderful.
Not our Rita. And we got Michelle Evans. Oh my goodness, Rhino, marvelous as the captain.
Thank you.
Hey,
I always wear it when I'm driving my boat, captaining my vessel.
We got Lafayette, Indiana, in the building. What's good, y'all? From Robert Brown.
What's up?
Hello, Robert.
Robert again, brother Rhino, what's good, fam?
Everything's good. Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop. I like that. Whoop whoop.
Yep.
Jason Miller. Hey, Captain Rhino, how's the Love Boat doing?
Hey, we won't talk about the Love Boat.
I have the Love Boat, Jason Miller. So get it right.
Yeah.
You have the Love Boat. Certified Hustler says, "Hello, fellas from St. Louis. I went to NWA 73 and Empower in St. Louis a couple weeks back. Greatest time of my life, man. I'm so glad wrestling is at the chase is permanently back into wrestling."
Yeah. Yeah, wrestling seems like it's on a really, really good upswing. Mick Foley, his latest video saying WWE, you're in trouble or we're in trouble or whatever. I guess it went it made its rounds. A lot of eyeballs were on it.
I'll paraphrase, but I believe he said that WWE is not the only place that wrestlers should aspire to be nowadays. So,
yeah. If he was a young wrestler coming up, he would not be secure in letting WWE creative manage him correctly and put him where he needs to be or where he thinks a young wrestler needs to be. And he's not saying that back in the day. He said back in the day they did a marvelous job, and he thanked everyone that helped him along the way. He just says now he doesn't trust a young wrestler to go there and have creative do the right thing. So, and
this isn't a knock on WWE. So let's just make everybody aware of that. I think, you know what? And to be honest with you, it might be a calculated plan by Vince McMahon and others in WWE as far as releasing some talent so they can go to AEW. So it helps their competition to help push WWE to become a better brand and product. So, I mean, and it's not a knock on WWE, and maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but they just need to fine tune some things. And I'm rooting for obviously Impact, which is on every Thursday night on Access, and because that's who I work for, and Eric Young, Violent by Design, a little shout out, my boys. But anyways, it's like, you see Impact, and all the great moves they've made over the last couple of years, you know, over the last several years. But, you know, you got the Good Brothers, you got so many people. Right. And, you know, it's just, and then AEW, the moves they're making, it just makes wrestling, you know, more interesting. It's like, okay, who's going to come over next? What are they going to do? Especially with CM Punk, you know, getting back into the wrestling ring. You know, it's just, everything's exciting.
Yeah.
So.
And it does, from the outside looking in. I mean, I have no insight to wrestling knowledge at all. But from the outside looking in, it looks like he's shedding payroll of his bigger stars. I mean, like, he got rid of Braun Strowman. Now they're talking about Kevin Owens is leaving. I mean, it's just going down the line. So,
and some guys' contracts, they're letting it run out too.
Yeah,
so it's not like he's just cleaning house. You know,
Ryan's ran out. I think Bebe, whatever. I can't think of his name right now. Adam Cole's ran out.
Yeah.
So I think it could be a calculated move, like you said. I've heard people say that. You know, he's just.
And plus, they're on you know, Wednesdays and Fridays. You know, and 2 hours and a 1 hour show. So it's nice because you get a lot of wrestling. You don't get a lot of what do they do? A lot of recaps.
Yeah. That's the biggest beef with WWE is the hour and 45 minutes for the recaps on Monday night.
Yeah, and I understand recaps are very important, and they put together the packages really well. But I think that's what I hear from a lot of fans when I do independent shows, which I've got a show tomorrow for AIW in Cleveland, and then Saturday in Standish with DVA, XICW, and I always love going up there, and it's a great building too. And then down there in Indianapolis, Indiana, so on Sunday. But you know, when I talk to the fans at the meet and greets and stuff, they really that's one of their biggest complaints is the recaps over and over and over and over again when a lot of talent can be used, you know, and they've got a lot of great talent in NXT, SmackDown, Raw. I think you know, hopefully they'll be able to dial it in.
So a couple more questions for both of you guys. I mean, don't you think that if Impact's doing well and AEW is doing well, isn't it good for everybody though? I mean, as a whole, especially the wrestling fan, but all three corporations should be benefiting from each other doing well.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And let's not forget places like Ring of Honor, New Japan, and there's a lot of international work too that people in independence are doing very well. You know, Rhino, like our good friend Joey Legend, you know, has made a career of traveling the world and keeping himself busy, you know, for however many years. So, I mean, there's lots of places for everybody to work.
Yep.
Right.
Lots of opportunities.
And getting out there and hustling, you know, and honing your craft. And that's a good thing about, you know, I think Impact and AEW and, you know, like NXT, they'll hire guys from the indies. And then they'll just hire people without experience that have promise, you know, that may have background in other sports. And, you know, but I think that's important. You have a good base in honing your craft and your skill on the independent scene. So it used to be territories. You used to, you know, work different territories and work your way up. And yeah, and if some guy needed work, they just go to a different territory and then come back.
So it was basically you have three real prominent landing spots, three places for people to aspire to. So it just makes it, I mean, even better for young wrestlers to get out there and actually have a chance to, you know, if they won't make it in NXT or WWE or AEW or Impact, and then you know, they have more opportunity.
Right. And plus, the good thing with Impact and AEW, they're working together. You know, and AEW is working with different companies too. But yeah, it's a great concept, and it doesn't hurt anybody. It just it's better for the wrestling fans because they get dream matches. So
absolutely,
I agree. We have a lot of that certified hustle. We got a lot of info coming in for you. We'll have to maybe get back to you afterwards. There's like 45 comments for certified hustler. We appreciate you commenting. Don't think we don't think of you. I'll do the last one here. You got rid of all the top guys. Money is gone. They're still bringing in money. Not sure when. I don't think they're going to sell. I mean, he's got.
No, I
don't think so.
I hear people say that, but I don't think it's going to happen.
No, you know, and I listened to JR's podcast with Conrad, and and I encourage wrestling fans to listen, especially those that are in their 30s and 40s and 50s, and that watched it back then. That like the inner workings of the wrestling business. But JR, it's just what a great guy, and what a great talent, and what a great mind. Mm-hmm. I've learned a lot just listening to him and watching him, how he worked and, dealt with people when he was talent relations. And now I get to hear from, Boone, when you and I were on car rides, we'd listen to a lot of podcasts and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And just how things, they booked territories, or they booked, stuff in NWA, and why and how, and about booking shows, and how Vince McMahon worked when he started there, and how he would book matches, and this and that. And then Conrad also does a couple other podcasts with Bruce Pritchard and stuff that are very good. And then Kurt Angle, I guess, is a podcast now. So
Kurt Angle, yeah, there's a lot of great resources, and it's free too, to learn of how the business, how it operated then, how it's operating now, and to, in a sense, pick the minds of, like you said, Rhino, learning from JR, from Eric Bischoff, from Bruce Pritchard, and even talents like Kurt Angle. You're getting a melding of all different backgrounds, concepts, and everything. For somebody like me, I mean, I absorb it. I absorb it all. It's a great learning tool.
Yeah, and Eric Bischoff too. And mm-hmm. I actually got a quick story about Bischoff. I think I told it on this on the podcast, but we were going over to Hawaii, and we did a show in Hawaii. Then we were going to Japan. So the office was like, okay, well, we'll get into Hawaii after wrestling TV. We did like a super show, and then we go over to this is when the brands were split. This was like in 2003. And then 2003 or 2004. And then we go into Hawaii. We'd have several hours to hang out. And then we go do the show, come back, hang out for several more hours, and get on the flight to Japan, right? And they chartered the plane. And it was a Delta plane they chartered. So anyways, they assigned like the first class seats. And there was only like maybe 10 or 15 talent. And they would have the rest of the plane to themselves. So it was almost better to have a seat in economy, because you'd have rows, right? Mm-hmm. So anyways, they put me next to Eric, and I looked at him and I go, because they asked, okay, well, can't we get a hotel room? Because overseas the office would pay for our hotel rooms, right? For everybody. So, and they give you your own hotel room. So they go, Jericho and Bischoff, stood up in the meeting, when they were laying out how this is going to work out. They go, we've got at least 10 hours of downtime. You want us to lay on the floor, in this big banquet room, and the food there and our luggage, and, yeah, we can take a shower at the building, but still, mm-hmm. And they go, all right, well, we'll look into it. Right. And I understand about saving costs. It was like 3 or 4 hours. Nobody would have said anything, but we had about a good 10 hours of downtime at the hotel. Mm-hmm. So they ended up getting us our rooms. And anyways, I looked at Eric once we boarded. I was sitting next to him in first class, and I looked at him, and because they assigned the seats, and I go, so it looks like I'm your punishment for sticking up to the board. And then we roomed together and everything in Hawaii, right? And so, but I picked his brain then, and I'm just like, how could you not,
Right.
So, yeah, he's a really great dude. And, I always loved working with him, and just listening to him on how they book stuff, and on his podcast with Conrad. Yeah. So
we got Jason Miller saying he'd rather go to an indie show than AWE or WWE right now. So, and more fan interaction and more fun. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's harder to have more fan interaction when you're enclosed in such a big arena like that, in the AEW. I think John Moxley does a good job of it. He walks right through the crowd, and otherwise it's just a little hard to do. And I know you're talking about IWR shows too, right, Jason Miller? He is. I agree with you, Jason. A lot of people do like one of the things I love about AEW right now is that they do work with like NWA and Impact and New Japan and all these other companies, and just produces so much more shows and so much more matches that you wouldn't normally see. I mean,
right. I mean, it's almost taken the same concept of like what WCW did with working with New Japan and AAA, over 20 years ago. So, I mean, the more things change, the more, they stay the same in essence.
Yeah. Well, and plus you're an international brand. So
exactly.
It's very important.
Well, that was a good conversation. We got still a lot more stuff going on here. About we can't get to all the questions today. We're not going to be able to stay on too much longer, I don't believe. Jason loves how they go into the audience and stuff. So like just a last question about AEW and the WWE and all that. Just the new AEW signing like Bryan Danielson. I mean, how awesome is that to have Bryan Danielson versus Kenny Omega? I mean, that's an iconic match really to have that they can do now. Because Bryan wanted to actually come to AEW, said because he wanted to be unleashed more. He wasn't. I forgot how he said it. Because Vince was too protective of him, and I guess he wanted to do more. So those two guys, I mean, they're 100% full throttle the whole match. I think that's something like that's going to be an amazing match to see. So
yeah,
absolutely.
Who would you want to? Who was your match that you really wanted to see or really wanted to fight? Who was the guy you wanted to get in there against? Rhino? Anybody in particular? When you first came up, or when you got into the business for a while, and you saw somebody like on a different brand, and you said, "I would love to be able to wrestle this guy." I mean, you pretty much wrestled everybody, so.
Yeah, not really. Nothing off the top of my head, but getting back to like Jason Miller and stuff, the independents, that's one of the great things about the FOP, where IWR runs. It's a nice, intimate feel, and it reminds me a lot of like ECW, and the buildings they would run, and how close you are to the fans, and the fans are to you, the action, and where it's a lot of fun. But as far as just someone that I would have liked to have wrestled, I don't know, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been blessed to wrestle, everybody. Maybe Ben Boone.
You've never wrestled Ben Boone?
Maybe I get the rose if I win, so I can give it to a lucky lady.
I think what if you're gonna put it like that, I think I would be agreeable to that. Let's take it up with IWR management.
Right. I think rose on the pole match.
Ooh,
Rose on the pole.
A first time ever. I like that idea.
Yeah.
You were speaking of
I don't know. Yeah.
My rose, your boat. How's that?
What's that?
My rose versus your boat.
No, now you lost me.
Okay, all right. I flew too close to the sun there. Okay.
Right.
Your superstars demand a lot, don't they?
Right. Hey, I just want to win the rose so I can give it to a lucky lady.
Okay, fine. I think that's a good stipulation.
Right.
I want to go back real quick to you, Ronald. You were saying the intimacy of like an IWR event at the FOP Hall. Well, there's a video circulating around today that I've seen several times that it's got Connor throwing Dread King Logan against a solid wood oak wall at the FOP Hall, and you hear if you listen close, you hear two thumps. You hear a 200 and some 50, 60-pound man, King Logan, hitting the solid wood wall, and there's no give. And he was thrown by a 90-pound Connor, and then you hear a second thump when his head hit the floor. Yeah, it's an amazing video, and just to have all the fans right there, and in the same video they have you suplexing King Logan onto the stage floor and right in front of the podcast people, and you could hear the deadening thump when it hits.
Right.
So,
yeah, I feel that too. So
you feel
it's well worth it.
Who's it hurt more on a suplex, the suplexer or the suplexee?
The suplexer.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, when you're 45, yeah.
We got boats in a rose.
Right.
Next, our first pay-per-view.
Right.
WR boats in a rose.
I love it, Ryan Wolf, Ryan from the gym.
And we got we won't get I'd love a rose from you, Rhino. Certified Hustler has an interesting request. He wants to see Rhino versus Trevor Murdoch for the NWA Championship.
Oh yeah, he's the NWA champion. Congratulations.
Earlier in there somewhere he mentioned that Trevor Murdoch must have just won the NWA Championship. So
yep.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Last week I think it was.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So well, I know we got to wrap it up. We've been on here 30 minutes. We got Terry for 30 minutes today, and then drink his drink and
unsweetened iced tea.
Unsweetened iced tea. Splenda. Well, we're gonna wrap it up. Ben, you got anything you want to talk? We're gonna wrap the show up. Ben, you have anything you want to close with before we go? Where the fans can find you, social medias and all that?
Yep. Find me at Benjamin Boone 1 on Twitter and Instagram, prowrestlingtees.com/Benjamin Boone for all my t-shirts. And very much looking forward, Monroe, to see you next Saturday, September 18th at the Monroe Pop Fest. Really looking forward to it.
We're looking forward to having you. And Terry, you are on Impact Thursday nights on Access Television.
Mm-hmm.
And Pluto TV also has an Impact Wrestling channel. So if anybody has the free Pluto app, there's 24-hour a day Impact Wrestling, goes all the way back to Impact TNA, all the way to 2 or 3 weeks ago's episodes shows. So that's another good way to see Rhino when you need your Rhino fix.
Yeah.
So we will get out of here. Michelle wants you to show her your guns. Terry, can you roll the sleeves up? Can you roll the sleeves? There's only one request. That's for you. I almost want to make that a full screen. Can we make that a full screen? No, we can't make it a full screen, but
Gary, let's see those guns.
We got all three doing it for me.
There you go. Boom.
Let's
see those guns.
I'll go that way. You go that way. Now we're the Young Bucks.
There it is. And I'll be the captain.
You're the captain now, and we will be back. Probably not next week. I got the Pop Fest in a couple days. Terry's got a pay-per-view that weekend, I believe, or at least keeping. I forget. So you got something coming up. We got the Pop Fest coming up. Ben will be busy, but hopefully we'll be back Thursday after the Pop Fest, which would be in the 20s somewhere. Episode 62, I believe. So you can get us on YouTube Live. You can get us on Facebook Live. And then you can also find us after the fact at Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, CastBox, all of them.
I had a great idea for exit episode 69. I'm going to get a bunch of strippers.
Should be interesting live TV.
We're gonna do it live at what is it, Agora over there on Telegraph Road? What's the name of that?
I think that's right, Agora.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Can I be on
that one? Gary? Yeah, you do. You know Dawn's listening. That's why you're like, oh, I don't know.
No idea.
Come on, we got to do it live from there. I know the guy that runs the place.
Of course you do.
No, I mean, not that I've been there.
Yeah. Now look at him. backtracking.
No, I have.
In this show or what? Let's get this.
How's the talent pool there, Boone? Is it good?
What's that? Yeah, very good talent.
Oh, see, and that's technically Monroe County. So,
what night do you dance?
Right. I'm not saying get a dance. I'm just saying. Hey.
What's that? What night does Ben dance? I mean, I might go up there.
Oh no! It's women dances.
Oh,
yeah, Gary.
Yeah.
Come on, Gary.
Gross. Yeah. All right, well, we're going to end the show. This show should have ended a long time ago. We're going to end it now for sure. We're going to take you out with the. Let me find it. We're going to take you out with the Monroe Pop Fest commercial, since that's the next thing we got coming up. And we'll see you guys hopefully again September 30th-ish. If not, we'll see you in October. We'll see you again sometime soon. Bye-bye.